Hello, everybody. My name is Ayotunde Onobolu. Welcome to the Figoal Cup of Nations preview for the final. It's been 1 week of incredible football action, incredible goals, giant killings, surprises all over the place. And we are where we are right now. The final between Heristeady and Folztelz. We will be previewing that one. Let me introduce the panel today. Akintomide makes a return again. What's up, bro?
How you doing?
Very well. Bobo of Africa makes a return.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Nice to have you guys.
And for the first time, Abu KD himself makes a return. For those of you who have never seen his face before, that's the fine guy doing things right there. Yeah. No. And Bobo kind of feels a bit odd because the other three guys on the screen have some. My own looks like beard small. You know,
I look like your son.
All right, so I'll start with you, Tommy Boy. Before this tournament started, I'm sure some people felt, we ain't never done this kind of thing before. How is it going to be? We're used to guys battling for promotion, guys hoping to stay alive, not going down into relegation. But then 1 week on, the engagement on the group has been intense. People are looking forward to games like fire. What would you say your impression has been about this tournament?
The engagement, it's been awesome. So I remember when you, Marcel, and John had started to toy with this idea to see if it was something that we could do. I was there thinking, okay, so what will be the attraction in a person knowing that they have only one chance to play a game and they could be out of the tournament, and then that's it. They don't get to participate in the rest of the tournament. So I had those misgivings, but I have been proved wrong. I have seen the engagement the past, it's been just about a week, I think. All the upsets that we have had. So, it's interesting. The whole thing about you being in Division 1 and we having players in lower divisions, having he jumped in the stack first, and whoever came out of that were the ones who faced the people in the upper divisions. People in the other upper divisions, they're gone by now.
Technically, they're not gone.
Some folks that had talked about we're going to be the ones that we're going to make it here. It's been fun. It's been real. The way we have tried to incorporate and use the Figo YouTube channel and all of that stuff. A lot of things that I would wish that I could talk about, but I really can't go into all and each of those details right now. But yes, I'm enjoying myself. I love it. Today's games, it's still today, today's games were awesome. I wouldn't say more than that. So,
Okay, I mean, it's amazing that the two guys playing are not even in Division 1. We'll get into that. But KD, let me come to you, Abu. Some guys were missing in the tournament, including that man that just spoke. I'm looking at him with one corner of my eyes right now. And perhaps the biggest name that missed out on the tournament has to be Musa. Do you think that the absence of some of the key guys in the group kind of lowered the standard of the competition a little bit? Do you think if they were there, maybe the final we're previewing on the show may not have been the final? What are your thoughts about that?
I really do not think so, because even if Musa had played, who knows? Someone would have knocked him out.
Right.
You're not really sure. It's a tournament full of surprises. If Musa on his bad day, they're going to whoop his ass. So I cannot really say, because Musa didn't play the tournament, I mean, that's why we're not going to see Musa in the finals. Are you sure Musa is going to make it to the finals? Right. Some people might even come up. So I really do not think that way. But it would have been more fun to see Musa play. It would have been more interesting to see Musa play. But I mean, it is what it is. But I do not personally think Musa would have made it to the final. If Musa had,
what about Tommy Boy?
How about you? You're back in the days now. I mean, your time has passed. Your time has passed. I don't even see you making it past round of 64 actually. Because you're gonna use Arsenal. This tournament is full of offsets.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I would personally think, when you guys did the draws, right? this round of 32. You know, when the FA Cup, the one they do play in England, right?
Yeah.
If they want to do the draws for the FA Cup, Division and Premiership guys, I think they barely play each other. But but the draw you guys did, Division 1 guys were facing each other.
Right.
So maybe in future, you guys have to give us that privilege of being in Division 1.
I felt credit to the admin. To be honest, I liked the fact that they allowed Division 1 and Division 2 guys to draw by in the very first round. So they didn't play.
Of course.
So, I mean,
what would have happened if Musa had drawn Cardiac in round of 64?
In the first round? I mean, there are times in the FA Cup third round in England.
Yeah,
Manchester United versus
Arsenal. Like, but that's barely. But so far though, the tournament has been really, really fun. Even though I got out too early, but I'm going to Nations. I'm using World Cup. So.
World Cup, yeah. Okay. let me get to you now, Bobo of Africa. You know, Abu alluded to some upsets. What are some of those moments during the tournament? Who are some of those guys? What are some of those results that shocked you? Who are some of those guys that put up performances that left your jaw hanging like, what in the world did I just watch?
Okay, the first one has to be what's his name? Emmanuel, when he knocked out Sigurazu. I was shocked. I was shocked because I mean Sigurazu is a very good player. Right. So I was shocked. And I mean, we cannot look past, you know, Cardiac when Cardiac was knocked out by Wale. That was shocking. That was shocking because it was not because he was knocked out. It was the manner of the defeat. Lost, you know, because it was so. It was not like, oh, he went out by chance. He was outplayed. That was the first time I'm seeing. I mean, apart from watching him against Musa, that he was outplayed.
He was like, dominated.
Second leg, he was dominated.
I thought the scores were 4-4-3-3.
No.
0-0-4-1. It was 4-4-3-3 was against Daddy Tak. That was Daddy Tak.
Against Wale was 0-0-4-1. 4-1.
4-1. It was.
It was obliteration for me. For me, that was what it sent shock wave, and everybody was surprised. Like Cardiac, and I mean, if you see, he might not say it in a group. He was hurt. Let me just say he was hurt because after that day, you see his participation. You know, he was
reduced. Yeah.
He was really hurt.
It's not easy, man.
I did not see that coming at all. That was the big one for me. You know, like for the tournament, that was the big one.
All right, then. So let's look ahead to the big one. Crazy results. There was a time the magic number was 8.
Oh yeah, 8 full Sunday.
It was crazy. It was a steady dose. All right, so Heristeady against Folztelz. I'll quickly give a summary of how both guys got into the final. In the round of 64, you mentioned Bob J. That was Heristeady's first casualty. And it was one of the first guys to concede 8 goals. What? And then in the round of 32, Heristeady knocked out the Ivorian. And then in the round of 16, he knocked out Q Dreams. And then he knocked out Jimmy Floyd. And then he knocked out Tanta in the semifinals. I think that means he played 3 Division 1 guys.
Yeah.
3 Division 1 guys.
He killed 3 giants.
Yeah. That is massive. And for Folztelz, he destroyed Young Papi. And then he met a fellow guy they played in Division 5 together, Paul Tone. And then the heaviest one I saw him play was against David 2 Remedy.
It's 1.
It was 8-1. And in the second leg,
Figo chapter 2 verse 16.
That second leg, he struggled and he made sure he got that goal number.
That last goal.
He looked for that goal number 8. Yeah. And then the now infamous games against Adefab. That was coming
delay.
And then
impute data. What was
impute delay.
And then he beat Jason in the semi-final. Now, on the balance of opponents that both guys had to play, you probably agree with me that Heristeady had the tougher route to the final.
Yeah.
But in terms of gameplay, let me start with you, KD. In terms of gameplay, who do you think holds the aces in this game?
I'm going with Folztelz, man. in terms of game, that guy defense is very, very solid. I mean, Heristeady is a very good player though, but I would go with Folztelz. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing an upset though, but if you ask me to pick somebody, 100% Folztelz.
Well, speaking of upsets, Folztelz played Division 5 in the last, tournament. Heristeady is supposed to be in Division 2, so it won't. If Folztelz wins,
Folztelz is a Division 1 player. Don't get that wrong. It's a Division 1. That guy can ball.
That's interesting what you said.
Yeah,
it's the Division 4 player actually, 4, not 5.
Yeah, he just gained promotion into 4.
Yeah, just like the way Oluwatosin also just gained promotion to Division 2.
I would love to see Heristeady win though, but I wouldn't put my money on him. But I would love to see him win. So
before I come to you, Bobo, let me Bobo, because you and Akintomide, I want you to provide some tactical, hanky-panky into that final. Let me start with you, Akintomide. If Heristeady, who it seems the consensus is the underdog going into this final, if he's going to beat the strong defense and conquer the incredible skills that we all know Folztelz possesses in abundance of proportions, right? What does he have to do?
First of all, before I answer that question, let me tell you guys about a small conversation I had with some guys earlier today. So someone just asked, a group of us that, when is the final? And I replied to the person, I said, didn't we already the final today? Because in my mind, today was the final, and whatever game that Tosin, Heristeady, and Folztelz will be playing, it feels like formality to me. But to your question, what do I think Tosin needs? What do I think he needs to do? So I've seen how Tosin plays today, and while I was watching his game, I remember I had gone to comment on the group that I see what you guys are saying now. He can't beat Wale. To beat a player like Folztelz, the first thing you have to know how to do is how to read the game.
Right.
You have to understand how to read the game. And you would think that this is something that is very easy to understand or easy to explain to people. But I will tell you that players who have a more cautious or defensive outlook when it comes to soccer are the ones who can easily understand, what I'm talking about here. Reading the game means you need to know what your opponents want to do. You need to see where his own players are going to go, what he might have in mind to do next, and then you plan for that, both in your defense and your attack. In the defense, you're making sure that you're tracking at least maybe 3 players running at the same time and putting your players in spaces such that you're able to intercept or block passes. When it comes to attack, it's the same idea. You're anticipating that he's going to, move these players here, move these players there, which is one thing that we have seen that Folztelz knows how to do.
Yeah.
And there was one thing I saw today, which I found very interesting. And people don't usually understand when I explain that concept. In the final between Barcelona and Manchester United, there was a point in which Cristiano Ronaldo wanted to take a shot at goal. I don't know if you know this shot that Cristiano Ronaldo does. He goes to the left part of the box and he wants to use his right leg to finesse, to the top left of the goalkeeper. Yeah. Now, Kolo Toure slid at that point. And where I was watching the game, a lot of people shouted that, he's used him to wipe the floor. But I had to explain to them that no, Toure knew that Ronaldo was going to change his mind the moment he slid into that ball.
Right.
Because what Ronaldo wanted to really do was to hit the ball. But Toure slid knowing that, okay, I need to sacrifice myself here. He's not going to kick the ball. He's going to change direction. Folztelz did that thing so many times today. He'll put a player, he sees your attacker coming towards him. And then he acts as if he's going a certain direction. He wants you to change direction. He's not going to mark you there. Now, it will take you playing Folztelz maybe like 4 or 5 times to be able to understand what he's doing and what you need to do in those kinds of situations. Can Tosin pull it up to, can he pull that rabbit out of, whatever hat or pocket he's going to pull it out from tomorrow to see how he needs to do this? I don't know. But essentially what he needs to do, he needs to understand how to read the game, how to anticipate. It's going to be very crucial for him. You anticipate, attack, defense. I think, we have highlighted Folztelz's defense more than his attack. So I guess, that has to be, where Tosin is to do better. He needs to understand that Folztelz moving his players around. He is trying to push Tosin to do something which is not natural to Tosin. So he needs to stick with his own plan in those situations. And I hope he has a good plan. Brilliant. But, we talk about these things, we say that we do this.
Easier said than done.
Easier said than done, bro.
It's easier said than done.
We have seen Musa take notes about a player he was about to,
Cardiac. That was against Cardiac. I saw it.
Cardiac?
It was Cardiac.
Yeah, it was against Cardiac.
Just so he
in red pen.
And I feel like Tosin is to beat or have a chance against Folztelz tomorrow. He needs to do something close to that. He needs to remember some basic things about how this person plays. If he loses himself,
the goals will be plenty. You see another basket full of goals. I mean, it's easy to study someone. I know somebody was supposed to play Folztelz and he decided to, I won't mention who among the 5 guys or 6 guys he's played. That was what. The person went to the Figoal channel to try and see the games he played. And in my mind, I'm like, uncle, you know what to do. You know what is supposed to be done. But at the end of the day, it's thinking that we end it. Bobo, let's look at the effect of formations. Because I see this thing guys do. The game starts, they hit the pause button and
check the formation.
Check the opponent's formation. Does all of that really matter? What role will formations play in the final?
Okay, the rules of formation is gonna be first of all, it depends on your gameplay. One thing about FIFA is that your formation, you could be using one formation, but you're better than me. But I could be using another formation, but that formation that I'm using is gonna upset the formation that you are using. You're playing that formation against someone else, and it's very effective, and you're scoring goals, and your defense is so great. But you're playing me, and I'm using a different formation, and you're wondering what happened to my defending. What happened to my players? It's because formation upset formation. And the people like Marseille and Musa, and I'll put Folztelz in that group, they understand this. They already know formations that they go check the person's formation. Okay, they know the formation that's going to counter that person's formation. And I was watching Babadi and Musa today. Musa did exactly the same thing a few minutes ago. Like he was using 4-4-2, Babadi was using 4-4-2. He switched it to 4-1-3-1. I don't know what he did, but he started scoring. So in terms of formation, yes, formation plays a big role in this game. It's going to play a big role, but it all depends on your game plan. I've played Oluwatosin a lot. He, first of all, he was using Liverpool, and his Liverpool was devastating when it comes to attack. But his defending is not that great. Oluwatosin, for me, his strength is to attack. His defending is not, I'm not saying it's like awful, but it's not that great. So if he wants to have a chance against Folztelz, he has to do a little bit of work in his defense. Want to attack him? The goal is going to be plenty.
Okay, so now the last question on this final. It seems we've been talking about what Heristeady has to do against Folztelz, but Abu, come on, man. I don't know if this question makes any sense. I don't know if it's a stupid question. What does Folztelz have to do to become the champion, the first champion of this tournament? Well,
right now he knows he's the favorite. Right. Everybody sees him as the person to win, so that's a lot of pressure on him already. So he needs to know how to play to his regular game that he plays. Do not try to do anything special. Say I want to be a little extra. No, play your normal game.
Right.
Heristeady is not that strong in defense. So if he keeps doing that nonsense ball rolling he does all the time, that's gonna kill Heristeady. And long through pass. I even told him today, I said, Tosin, you need to cover the long through pass because Tanta was doing that thing to him constantly. If Tanta is very good at scoring, he would have won that game.
Right.
But Folztelz, just play your normal game. I have my money on it. Even though Tosin is my guy.
well, let me surprise
this regular game, like just because I know Tosin is probably going to sit back and wait for him and just counter attack. Because that's I mean, there's no way you can play Folztelz like you want to keep attacking him. Right. The defense is going to be open.
All right.
So he will have a lot of possession. Just make sure you make use of it, because if Tosin gets that ball and just throw it inside, it's goal.
Can I jump in? Can I jump in?
Very quickly, so we can take this home.
The reason why people are looking at the Marseille and the Musa as like top players, it's not because of their attacking. That's one thing people don't know. It's not because they are devastating going forward. It is their defending. You cannot penetrate Musa and Marseille. I was watching that game today. I was like, God, how can you go through? Their basic is their defending.
Those guys, their game is balanced.
That's their foundation.
Their game is balanced.
The game is just different class. They know you're not as great as defending as them. So they wait for you to make all the necessary mistake that you're going to mistake, and they're going to score you. That's how they do it. They already know what you're going to do before you do the stuff. So that's one thing. That's the advantage they have against us. So that's
no.
Akintomide is itching to say something.
Well, I see your point, but Bobo has a point and he's right. Whenever I get on any FIFA game, the one thing I want to learn first is how to defend, how to make sure you don't play.
Yeah,
I want to make sure that you
that's why you hold on to the ball forever.
That's what I do. That's what I do. I'm saying he has a point there, but at the same time, to Abu's point, their games are balanced. You know, one of the reasons why I hate playing Musa is after I have done everything I know how to do,
he collects the ball,
right?
And score.
It will go past.
All right.
You know, so even after everything that I have done, so yes, you are right. So now he's scoring. So yes, he might find the game difficult against me, but he still knows how to score.
Yeah.
And then, but you're right, Bobo. Now I cannot even now score. I can't. He has scored 2 or 3 goals.
That's frustrating.
Yeah,
that is frustrating.
And that's when you now open your defense. And
because
you're very desperate to go score.
Yeah.
Just open up.
So let's vote. I'll call on you guys one by one and tell me who you think is going to win. Akintomide, Heristeady or Folztelz?
Folztelz, my guy.
Abu, Heristeady, Folztelz.
Folztelz, bro.
Bobo of Africa, Heristeady, Folztelz.
If it was not the favorite I picked before the tournament, I would have said Heristeady, but Folztelz all day, every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Final question.
Who are you picking?
You know, this is one of the most incredible reasons why it's good to host shows. You don't need to answer any questions. Just be asking people questions and be laughing. I'm neutral on this one, you know. But I mean, I won't be surprised when the winner wins. That's my answer. Yeah. I will not be surprised.
Somebody's going to lose. That's for sure.
Straight up. Final question: yes or no? Should the Cup of Nations return again? Akintomide.
Yes.
Abu.
Absolutely.
Oh, Bobo?
Yes, and I just want to, you know, you asked a question at the beginning to Akintomide regarding the tournament. Yeah, even myself, I thought it was not going to work because a lot of people were not responding when you're trying to play group games. But if you look, for the first time in a long time, everybody's talking. Everybody's looking forward to games. Everybody want to watch. You go to the broadcast, you've seen a lot of people. You see a lot of comments. Even people I don't even know, I'm like, wow. So, I mean, I think he has to continue, you know? Even if it's once in a while, it should continue.
Yeah,
you have heard it from the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Akintomide, KD, Abu, and of course, Bobo of Africa. Thank you so much for watching the show. I don't know who you think is going to win. Let's get on the group and let the banter continue. But don't put pressure on Heristeady. Don't put pressure on Folztelz. If I were those guys, I will stay away from the group until after the final game so that you won't get into trouble. Thank you very much, guys, for making this show happen. And hey, continue to let the activity go on the group as we look forward to the final of the first Figoal Cup of Nations. My name is Ayotunde. Enjoy the rest of the tournament. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks.
Good night.